What is going on, fellow casters and YouTube? I am here going to go over my first battle in Elestrals ever. It was over the internet. It was over a webcam in Elestrals, the Elestrals, Discord account or Discord server. I was going up against a fellow caster who has a way more experience than I do, as you will see in this battle. This battle did not last very long because, let's just face it, for a couple of factors. One, it's my first time, and two, and I'm gonna just keep it clear with you. I've done times where I'll sit here and I'll just take my deck and I'll shuffle it and then pull out 5 to simulate pulling them out. And my shuffles have been some of the worst shuffles out there. So I'm sitting here where I would get the same, like a lot of the ones that you should be like late game ones. Instead, I'm getting them like early, or I'm getting 2 of the same in my hand that I can't do anything with on the first turn. I needed a good run with this, and I just did not get anything good going into this battle. But I gave it my all. I'm not gonna sit there and say I didn't try. But yeah, this could have went a lot better. I'm sitting here talking to my opponent, how I'm doing, everything I've been looking forward to, everything I've been trying to do with this, and I even want to show off my Viseros, which is actually a pretty awesome card. Unfortunately, I can't use in my deck because I don't have. I mean, I could use any Celestial card that I want, but I don't have the spirit to activate its ability. So it's honestly, if you don't have the spirit to activate an ability, I don't care how cool the card is, you shouldn't be playing it. Plain and simple. You should not be playing a card just because it looks cool. If you ain't got a Zapdos, if you ain't got a Lycoris, if you ain't got a Leviathan, if you ain't got a Vipiro, if you ain't got a whatever the other one is, I can't remember on the top of my head, you should not be playing said cards. Now, I won the roll. What you do when you play Elestrals is you get your spin down, which we're getting into the match here soon. Hold on. Too early. As you can see here, he's gonna go. Yeah, I see as he has in that hand, it's a spin down 20-sided dice. You guys roll your die. Whoever has the highest number can decide whether they go first or second. I run the roll. I wanted to go first. First time playing. Why not? And I don't say it was a mistake to not go first. It probably was, but like I said, my draw was completely terrible, so it didn't really matter who went first. Now, if I would have had a certain card I got towards the end of this, which I'll explain when we get to that turn, going first probably would have been a better idea at that time, but I couldn't. So this is my opponent. His cards. He's got an Earth deck that's more powerful than my deck. Obviously, see, he's gonna roll. I have him up, and I believe I got a deck that was like, yeah. So I'm gonna go first, and this could have went a lot better. So I draw my 5. Of course, on first turn, you can't draw an extra turn, especially if you're the one who goes first. You only get to draw 5 to start the game. And right out of the gates, as you will see, I'm sitting here just blabbing about things that I never, like, I'm even telling you, my draws have been awful. Like, I want to try and get a Necroth maybe on first turn, or maybe Spine Nymph, or one of those cards that could do something for me. I didn't get none of that. I got nothing good. I had 2 of the same ones, but I sat here and it's like, okay, let's see what my luck is. I'm going to play Nectar of the Gods right out of the gate, drawing 2 cards, knocking my spirit count down to 18 immediately, but as you can see with my reaction, I got absolutely nothing to give us anything good. So yeah, the only thing I'm sitting here like, what am I gonna do? So I was like, you know what, this is really the only play that I have, and that play was a Veiled Aqua in attack position. Attack defense, it wouldn't have really mattered which one it went to, but that was all for my turn. Then I sent it off to him, and counting up his thing, which of course the spin down is also what you count for your life points. It's not a normal 20-sided die. It's all the numbers are in the same order, or in order 20 to 1 or 1 to 20, because it's also your life point counter. But he's playing one Earth Celestial or Earth Spirit to summon Viserys, and honestly, if I would have went first, maybe he doesn't play this card. I'm not sure, but he plays Viserys first, which has a higher attack than Veritaqua. But since we both have the same number of spirits under our deck, under our Elestrals, nothing happens to the my spirit deck. Spirit deck stays the same. So he, with that ability, also he gets to summon a second one after destroying my first card, after destroying an Elestral. But he has to put it in defense position. And also, with the fact that they were able to be summoned that way, both of them now have a +1 attack. So they go from like 6 to 7. Now, that was the end of his turn. Not much else he could do there, as we are going to be switching over to my gameplay now, here in a second. I was in trouble immediately. I'm just going to keep it honest with you. I was in trouble immediately. As soon as he got that Viserys up and then that second one up. His name is Chibi Samurai Fox, as you see on the name. I knew I was in trouble. I knew there was not much, I knew this was lost already. But I kept trying. I pulled out a card. I went for and grabbed, I'm still looking for the bottom of my screen, bottom of my deck. I find an Earth Element, an Earth Spirit, and I go to summon Spineth in defense position, which has got a higher defense than it does attack. So obviously, if I'm able to attack with this, he's able to attack this and kill it with an Elestral, then I'm gonna be able to attach that Elestral to his Elestral, but it couldn't, to put it the base stat of 0 attack. But unfortunately, he uses Earthquake to knock it out and destroy it. So basically, I'm in trouble right there with absolutely nothing guarding my defenses. He's able to also then put Folly Force, which is able to raise the attack up, which then he puts his second one in attack position. He's able to attack me for 2 spirits, and by my calculation, if I'm correct, I had 14 spirits at this time after he takes me down to 14, which is a shame. Man, I just boom boom, I'm down to 14 spirits, and yeah, that's not looking good for me so far. I'll have a nice little talk about this at the end too, while we're talking about it. Of course, he's explaining a couple things here and there. Again, he's been doing a lot of Celestial battles. This was my absolute very first Celestial battle. And Celestials is very unique because this isn't like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon or anything else where you can do what he's doing. He's dominating me in this match, this fight, or this battle. And unlike other ones where he can dominate me and I don't do, and there's no damage to him spirit-wise, you lose spirits every turn. There are some cards that can let you bring spirits back to you. I go on to my next turn, and he does have Folly Force, but I'm like, I cannot let that stand. Even if I was like, you get lucky with something, I'm going to have to change that immediately. I whip out, if I can get this to go right, and just go into my cards, which again, very bad hand. I had 2 of the same cards that were dual ruin. Like they needed 2 fire spirits to bring up, and you can't do that. I bring out the Volcanic Forge, getting rid of Folly Force, so if I could have got something worth anything, then I would have been able to do something, but that gets rid of Folly Forest. And I'm sitting here getting an explanation that you can only have 1 stadium up at a time, but if I was to bring one up, his Folly Force then goes down, it is destroyed. So right now, Volcanic Forge, which I believe stayed on for the rest of the thing, and as you see my hand going here, I'm looking at, I have every single one of my abilities in my Elestrals deck written down on a text document, because my eyes are so bad I can't really read most of them, so it's a little easier. It's like a little cheat sheet for myself. But I then go, and the only thing I can really do is play Humbust, which really doesn't do much for me. But it's just a way to, like, you know, extend the game, because if I wouldn't have put anything down as an Elestral, I could have just said, honestly, after the end of the first turn, I could have just folded and said, this game, I lost. But I wanted to keep going, check my luck, see if I could have got anything, see if I could get a Neck Ruff, maybe a Circle of the Skies with a Neck Ruff and Volcanic Forge would have helped me pick these guys off a little bit, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. He then, his turn, he is going to, as we see here, he's got me pretty much spent over. It's like I'm down to 12 spirits going out of after that last turn. 12 spirits right now. So he then takes one spirit and puts Rataya in defense position, which somebody asked why would he do that? Well, Rataya has a higher defense than attack, and in case I pull something out like a Neck Ruff and a Circle of the Skies to whatever, it's a defense that can just be defended. So an Elestral to be defended. But yeah, he's able to destroy my Humbust, which is explaining about he was asking about my defense of my Humbust, which he's explaining that the spirits underneath are the only ones that they get counted to for, like, when their stadium is up. So it's only a 3. He takes it out. Then his other Viserys would end up attacking me for 1 spirit, taking me down to 11 spirits after all of that. But he was also able to make a Viserys, which, all in all, he's gone through a good bit of spirits as well already. So he's down to like 15, 14 spirits coming out of this. So if you look at the grand scheme of things going into this to right now, I'm not that far behind going into the next turn. But it's still one of those things that I needed to get lucky with a pull, a draw, and it just did not go my way, as you will see what we get coming out of this as he is shuffling his deck, which he still has to attack. I believe he is going to drop me to 11 spirits here. And there goes my mouse. I switched it over too early, but that's on me. Now, I did switch it over a little too early, which that's fine. I'm just getting used to doing all this. I did not realize that I could actually see his cards at that time. He did show it exposed. He had a Panda Sin in his deck in his hand at the time, which honestly he really didn't have to do much. He didn't have like anything he could really do because he has 4 Elestrals on the field right now. But he did end his turn. Now, I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah. Now, the only thing that I really got to do that was positive in this was this turn here, which now, I'm sitting here looking at my cheat sheet and everything, and looking at everything. And I'm looking at a couple of abilities, trying to figure out what can I do. I draw a card. And I also, now, I play Cinder in defense position. Now, my Cinder, it makes him take the top 3 of his card, the top 3 cards of his deck and put them in his underworld, and card number 3 happened to be his Centaur. So, and that's in case he wanted to do anything with Centaur, he was unable to do that because it was in the underworld. But that was basically everything I could do for this turn. As you can see, not the best start, but hey, hopefully next time I come around and do a battle, we'll have a much better looking draw. This is, and I should mention that this is the Trifernal starter deck with a couple cards from the Founders promo pack that we have mixed in there, swapped out for other cards, so I don't really have a big option of cards that I can do. There are other things that I want to do and want to play with, but I can't right now. So, coming into the next turn, which, yeah, he puts his Viserys into the attack position all through an attack. He does end up taking a Wind Spirit. And he goes and enchants it on his full art for Viserys, because it doesn't really matter for, like, as long as he has two, like, he takes out my Earth Spirit, he takes out my Spirit, and then he takes out 3 more, knocking me down to... He knocks me down to like 6, I believe it is. Something like that. And that's all he could really do. That's all he needed to do. Final, basically, turn, I looked and I saw my deck and I'm like, I saw my Spirit deck and I'm like, yeah, I ain't got much left. I actually didn't have any, I had like 1 Fire Spirit left. Going into this turn, I had like 1 Grass Spirit, I think, still, and a bunch of Water Spirits. Now, there wasn't much I could do. Here. I'm looking at my ability, see what there's anything I can do. There's probably plays I could have made that would have been a lot better, but only thing I really could do, which doesn't really mean anything. You can enchant any Celestial with any spirit if you need to, but they have to be enchanted with the proper ability, or the proper spirit type. So a fire with a fire, water with a water, ice with an ice. I dropped my card there, I didn't mean to. And the only thing I really could do, because I really didn't have any other choice, and I misenchanted a Humbust in defense position just because that's all I could do. And yeah, we switched over to him. That was my turn. We switched over to him. He took his Drataya. He put it in attack position. He gave it another spirit. He enchanted it to, which, love that hollow, love that stellar version. Evolved it to the, and ascended it to its next form, which I do not have that name on top of my head right now. And basically this was the end of everything, as he would just attack my Humbus, taking it out. And then he has 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 5 spirits in all to attack me with, knock me down to 1 spirit. And yeah, honestly, it was game over from then. Now I could have continued from there. I did draw, and I will tell you what my final card was. My final card I drew was a Necruff, which is why I'm having this look of like, my god, if I would have got that first turn, second turn or something, maybe I could have did something. But I ended up folding right here. And that was that. That is my first battle in Elestrals, in which I lost. I lost pretty badly. And I will say that it's definitely going to be something I'd have to do a lot more battles with, get a couple more cards, get another deck or two, get a booster box or something, and try and build a team, build a good deck or so. But as for the first time, I wasn't sitting here like, I knew I lost after the first turn. I knew I was done. When I first saw the hand I had those 3 cards, those 2 cards, those 2 spiders in my hand at the same time the entire time. And what their ability is, it's like Viserys. Viserys' ability, as long as it's on the field, unless you're enchanted with a Thunder Spirit, you cannot attack on the turn that you were brought in. So it has the same ability as that, except that one's fire, but you have to have 2 runes, 2 spirits under it to be able to bring it on. So it's kind of a harder sell to do anything with. But yeah. Hope you enjoyed this look at my first battle. My narration, it's going to hopefully get better and improved over time. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.